thank you very much for the stage to speak about my club. My club name is Youth UNESCO Club. We are in Nepal. We founded it. I'm one of the founders of my club. We started our club in 2012. The background of our club, if I have to say, is after the continuous participating in international conference in Asia and the Pacific, we have gone through the experience of several youth who are making changes in the society with a group of amazing friends. Then we started to do a research on which field we should focus our life to be better and to become a gentleman or gentlewoman. So this is the basic philosophy when we started, by seeing amazing friends around the world who are making difference in the society, by forming a group of people and registering them as an NGO or youth NGO with different principles. So we thought UNESCO have a extremely innovative principles which is really important to our life and also important to youth like us. So we have basically three things why we started. The three key factors we started our club is to recognize, remember and reciprocate. So these are the three pillars that we are standing, our club has been standing on these three pillars. So I would like to go in our first pillar, which is recognize. So first, while recognizing, we would like to thank all the agents of our life, our parents, our lovely teachers, our friends, our brothers, sisters, and we'd like to say them thank you. Thank you because they made our life such a beautiful place to stay, and especially we want to have a transformation personality in ourselves. We want to become part of contribution, not competition. That's what our club stands for. We want to be a part of contribution rather than to contribute. We want to do contribution rather than to do competition in our society. So these feelings made us more ahead to work, and the one thing I would like to share that when we were starting our club, while we were making this pillar, someone said, why you want to start a club or NGO? Our father or our mentor, they asked us. Then we replied them that why student or why young people go to university? And we tell them that, and they answer to learn. Then we said that yes, we also want to learn, but not with the university, but with the society. That's why we started the club. Then, similarly, our club is for people who say thank you or do for the society, not for the student who use the platform only to have a competition or to make a good CV or to just have a written or just to be in a to write in a CV. So this is how we work, and we recognize people, and then we help them in different forms. We work for peace and disaster management, and I think this is the most needed things in the world. I think peace, I think all the United Nations are, or all the countries in the world are looking for peace. So while this was going on, while we were working on our club, I have a few points that our friends made. One of our friends said, material education makes us living, but social work makes our life. So these are the things our friend told to us and inspired us, and I would like to say them thank you as well who helped us. And we normally share a joke when we are around, saying that our club is for what kind of person. And one of my friends told an example that they were dad and son. They were walking together in a park, and son got a message in his telephone saying that, hey guy, our exam result has been out. Then that son, he texted back to his friend and said that, okay, if I am failed in one subject, then say good morning to you. And if I am failed in two subjects, then say good morning to you and dad. Then after 5 minutes, his cell phone, the message came in his cell phone and it was written, good morning to you, dad, your friends and your family. So he failed in all subjects. So we are not for those youth, we are for those youth who believe that material education makes us living, but social work makes our life. So first we recognize and say thank you. The second is remember. I don't know how many of us here sometimes say thank you and don't mean it. I think most of us. So to avoid this, we started to say thank you and we started to mean a thank you. And I think that's the main thing that we need to do. We need to mean how we say thank you to others or say sorry to others. We need to mean it and actually remembering it. Memory also plays an important role in life of youth, so that we can remember what our teachers said, what our family says, what our elders said to us, what our friends said to us. So remember the good that has been done to us. We need to remember what today we are and how our parents, teachers help us to achieve by their sacrifices. So we need to remember our sacrifices, because youth nowadays, they forgot many things. Like, if I have to say then, normally we discuss and we have interaction a lot in our circle, and we have a healthy jokes which makes us inspire. One of them might be in this remembering case, in the youth case is, there was a person who always forget 3 things. He always says that I forget 3 things. One is telephone numbers. Nowadays you forget telephone numbers because we have lots of space in our cell phones. Another thing is names. Youth forget names. And he said the third thing is he forgot. So there are 3 things that he always used to say that he forgot. So youth should have a good memory, and that memory help us to say thank you, and then to mean it, and then to have a better life. And the last but not the least is reciprocate. We have to give something back to the society which we can be engaging through. And this can be easily described by the theory of breathing. And if the theory of breathing, we have to say is, we can't take air only in, or we cannot throw the air only out. We need to have in and out. So this is the rhythm of our life. We need to take in and we need to give it back to the society. So in and out. This is what a small theory that we have, and has a lot of meaning into it. So I think the theory of breathing can make youth as a mirror. And I think society, our society is like a candle, and a youth can be a mirror, so that we can reflect the lights back to the society. So I think youth can be a candle, youth can be a mirror, and youth can be moral agents of the society. And normally reciprocating things, especially I want to reciprocate my thankfulness to my parents, because without them I couldn't have been here. Before, a few years back, I used to travel in different conferences in different parts of the world, and economically I was helped by my parents so that I can see, I can go there, I can learn, I can meet new people, and then I started to giving them back by providing them or help what they need financially. Now I can help them with financially as well. Even I can help them emotionally as well. Now I have to reciprocate what I think. And one funny incident I would like again to share about reciprocating things, giving things, is like if once a 5-year-old boy said to his mom, "I love you," then her mom replied back to her, "I love you too." Then that boy turned to 16 and he said to mom that, "I love you." Then mom said, "How much money you need? How much money you need?" Then when he turns to 30, he again said to his mom, "I love you." And his mom said, "Who the girl is? Don't worry, you will get married to her, don't worry." And the guy turned to 40. Then the mom said, "I told you, don't marry that girl." Then the guy turned 60. Then he went to his mom and said, "I love you." Then mom said, No, I'm not going to sign any papers, you go away." So I think that is not how we reciprocate things, but I think we need to give back to our society, and as I have said that we need to be a mirror. The youth need to be a mirror in front of a candle so that we can reflect the light to the society. So after this principle, we have started to work in different fields, and then so after this we started to work. We started to work from 2012. Since this happened. This happened back in 2015, and then at that time I was in Mexico with Siosi and Daryl. We were together in a conference, and these beautiful things which we were proud of has fallen down, and our work, our responsibility towards our society had made more important now. Now youth of Nepal, they are more important to their heritage and to the society. Let's suppose if someone comes, now I couldn't show them these old things because it's no more. Most of them are gone. And then I remember in 2014 we had a conference in Nepal where we invited all the youth from different parts of the world, and we took them all to these places. So at least we have that thing to remember, and to say thank you to them that they were there to help us, and then we could show the heritage to the people who comes to our country to visit. So after disaster, it was the epicenter of the disaster, and it was in a local time of 11:56, killed more than 10,000 people, damaged all the heritage sites in just a minute. So this was the problem that we had in 2015, which made us, our club, our people, to be more serious on what we do. So we damaged all, we had to feel loss of people and property, loss of ancient carving, woods, sculpture and stonecraft, ancient bricks, buildings, material were lost forever, loss of historical knowledge on infrastructures forever. Now we can't make as it was before, so because it was made around 200-300, more than 500-600 years ago. Now we don't have those people who can make it. So these were some of the pictures. This was in the heart of the city in Kathmandu, Pasanda Buddha Square after earthquake. You can see youth, they are.
I was there. I went there.
This is the same building, this one.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, but the other one.
The other one is
The stupa.
the stupa. This is now, they are now reconstructing. Stupa. So, what our youth can play a part in disaster recovery. Nepalese youth were self-mobilized to provide immediate rescue. So, what we feel after this earthquake is people need to get aware themselves. Like our friends, they didn't wait for any instruction. They straightly went to the area and they started to supply water bottles first, which is a basic need, and because the structure was, as they said, the structure was still moving here and there, and they provided water bottles, and that was the first thing that they did. Youth collected relief materials for disaster affected communities. Youth were involved in the reconstruction of damaged infrastructures, and there were many people who helped to collect all those precious heritage, like stones, like monuments, and crafted woods, because it was our property. So these people, they collected, they kept it very safe so that no one can take it away. So youth played a major role during disaster in Nepal. So youth were collaborative via social media, were quite active. Youth could feel irreparable loss of heritage. Youth volunteered in opening emergency route at disaster site, volunteered to collect precious stones, carvings and building materials, assisted army and police team to protect national property, as I had said. Youth participation showed significant impact. So after this we had a series of conferences, and at that time what I used to tell to those people who helped was in our normal sense, normally wherever I go, people think only people who are studying or who don't have job are said as youth. But it's not true. We have youth in army, we have youth in police, we have youth in teachers are also youth. So it was quite interesting thing. So you can see all the youth, these people, they used to give all the stones and valuable items to these people, and then they protect all the places, and you can see youth. The role of youth has been seen.
There were more than 80% involvement of the youth. Yeah.
We have more than 80% youth involvement from schools and everywhere. Even tourists were helping us. So before, after, you can see, collection of debris at heritage site. Photos by 9 News Australia. And this was the still we haven't finished. It takes a lot of time.
This started in this area.
Yeah, I think this white building is to be a palace, and then at that time King made a new palace and he shifted, and this was also affected. This has been constructed, and this thing they are not constructing it, but it's very old, and they are still confused what to construct. So due to the sensitivity of the precious heritage materials, government only army to manage debris at heritage site. At last, army came and they said, the government declared that only army will be responsible for the heritage sites. Youth started supporting affected family by providing food, tents and medical services. Youth from all over the world stand with #Nepal Pride. So he's there. He's helping, he's in charge with the medical teams with the Ministry of Health at that time. We have a dentist, she's Ranjan's, one of our AUSN students' wives. She's working for free. Our team, they collected food and then we distributed it. And I was not there at the time, I was in the USA. I feel unfortunate that I couldn't serve my people. Trainings on disaster safety should be provided to children and youth as a part of fundamental education. We are now talking with many people that we need to have at least 25 marks project work during their high school, so that they can learn and they can teach other their family, all the parents regarding the safety measures of a disaster, and heritage sites should be innovated timely to protect from earthquake and fire. Fire is also a problem in our country, and that's why we are having a discussion with a team of government regarding the way of building resilient building heritage as well, the heritage as well. Youth network of disaster risk management should be established, and we have the disaster risk management office has been started, but still we have not got that identity that youth need to get, because we have done all the hard work, but we haven't got that much place to work. Heritage after disaster. So that was kind of thing that I always keep in my slide. Is Mac Roberts said that this is an amazing one who tells he lost everything in the earthquake and then offered me an answer. So still our houses were broken, our monuments were fallen down, but still our heritage has been there. So we are still strong enough to contribute to our society, and still we are strong enough to protect our heritage, and not a disaster or not an earthquake or not any sort of natural calamities can break our feelings and our culture. So thank you very much, and I have some still photos, and our club, we are still trying to say thank you and to remember the thank you and reciprocate by helping our society. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ramesh. Yes, do you have some questions? So it's an example of, in a sense, social entrepreneurship. You take, develop a society, bring people together. You have around 5,000 members.
Yes.
So it's quite a big society. It's like half a university size, and or a university. And how did you feel? What's been the greatest lessons for you in developing a club like this? Because I mean, you gave some reflections in the talk, but would you do it again? And what advice do you give to other young people to create a club like this?
Well, I think it's very difficult to collect people and to collect them and to make them sit in a same concept that you have, and convince them to come to work with the people. And it's really hard because nowadays people want to study, and we all are towards the materialistic education, not the practical education. We all want to do the masters or PhD from a reputed university of the world, and we want to have a handsome salary to work in United Nations, and these sort of things are going around in between the mind of youth in different countries. I think this is the concept or thinking of many youth from different countries. But it was a very challenging task for me, not only to convince people, but also to take them to what they can achieve. And then for the newcomers, they are always welcome. And my initial experience is, as I always say in my training, that peace building or building a peace is always a fun. So I think, so let's have fun while making a peace. So I think what youth needs. And I also used to give trainings on Olympics, sports, and I think sports can also be one of the best medium to involve youth in the social work. And because we are interested in sports, youth have more thinking about sports. So I think sports can also one of the main factors that we can promote peace, as we know Olympics is all about world peace. And yeah, and I think disaster is also one of the key factors that you need to focus on. Any kind of disaster, is it man-made or we have a disaster that we have many countries that are fighting together. It's also one of the disaster for human beings. And I think both youth of the country, or both country, will have to go through in the future. So I think youth can be one of the important aspects.
So how did you select the group of students? Kind of from a particular group or particular stage, or others from particular age to that you're welcome to join, or socialism spur? How can you select them for your main members, like the 5,000 members, to work with you?
We have 9 board members from the club, and then we have what you say, assembly in every year or so, because we have no fundings. We don't take fundings from anyone. We run from our own money that we get from our family, and some of our members are now earning, so they separate some part of their earnings to the club. So I think we are purely based on volunteerism, social work. We don't compare it with the money. So I think to select to come it depends on youth, who wants to work, who wants to really care about the society, willing to work, is automatically selected.
Yeah.
Right? The willingness to work will automatically show in what they are doing, and I think we never discriminate or say no to anyone. Anyone from any part of the world can come, and we are lucky enough that we have many friends in different countries, so that we can travel and we can meet them, and we offer many foreigner friends to stay in our home. So when we go abroad, they also offer us a free stay. So I think this is how it works, and I think the pureness that we have in our club, I think this is the one that gives us binding together. And
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Why do you carry the name of UNESCO, Youth UNESCO Club?
okay, so as I've already told, we love the principles of UNESCO, and we support the principles of UNESCO, what they are doing for the culture. They are working for peace, they are working for science and technology. So I think we, as a youth, we need all these sort of things. We also need science education, we also need our heritage, we also need education. So we need every aspect of the UNESCO. So I think it's really good. It's the aspects of UNESCO, we think, is like a wall inside it. So I think we have education, we have culture, we have youth, we have technology. So I think this is how we are now. So I think that's why we want to be the club with UNESCO.
So even though you have no donation and no financial support or no, recognition from UNESCO, can you carry the name of UNESCO Club?
Yes, we can. There is a special I think provision from UNESCO that you can have a UNESCO club in every country. We need to go to the National Commission for UNESCO to have to say that they will ask us regarding our work, and they will give the permission to establish a UNESCO club. I think we also have UNICEF, something like that nowadays.
Yeah.
that I've seen.
Well, UNESCO national commissions can authorize clubs in each country.
That's true.
Yeah, so they have the
but-
permission from the National Commission in Nepal.
In Korea, we have a Korea UNESCO Student Association. It existed when I was a student, in the 60s and 70s. But somehow, reportedly by the Korean officials, there are so many UNESCO clubs in Nepal. So they cannot recognize which one is really authorized by, Nepalese National Commission of UNESCO, because in Korea, as far as I know, there's only one UNESCO Student Association club.
Yeah. In Nepal, there's only one UNESCO club, and there are also United Nations club. So United Nations clubs, other clubs, and UNICEF club and other clubs. But as far as I know, there's only one UNESCO's club in Nepal.
There are many.
UNESCO clubs?
There are many UNESCO clubs in Nepal. And I have
Yeah, that's what I heard
I
from
have met
the
many people from
cultural
UNESCO club
office.
working in Nepal. Once in September, I met one guy from Nepal. I met him in India. There was a South Asian Youth Summit, and apparently he knows me, but I don't know him. So he knows my club and he knows me, but I don't know him. And eventually we became a good friend. And they have a UNESCO club federation as well. We have been offered to come inside the federation, but we aren't going there because we are not for politics. We are not doing any politics in the clubs or NGOs, and we have registered as a non-governmental organization. So National Commission of UNESCO, they gave us the authority to go and work and to register yourself as an NGO. So we have done that, and we're still running from 2012.
But do you have a physical office?
Yes,
where
we
you
have.
can work for the
Yes, we have.
activity?
We have an office in. I think you haven't been to Nepal. We have office right next to the Parliament building. So we are in Khanal itself.
I'm interested in what kind of activities you have been involved in. Other than this kind of reconstruction activity, do you have other activities?
Yes, I have other activities. Like I have told, I used to train youth regarding Olympic. We worked with Nepal Olympic Committee, and we conducted 2 international conferences in 2013 and 2014. And then after that, I chose to study to learn about bioethics, and I went to United States and I stayed with Dell for 6 months, and I studied bioethics. And then now again I started to work with my club. So we have really active members who support me even I'm in and out of the country. And after Olympic, we do for peace building. We last year we went to different rural part of Nepal to for a survey. It's called filariasis survey that they used to do of the disease we have, and we actually are event based rather than project based. So we work as an event based organization. And we have done peace festivals, which was partly funded by UNESCO in 2013. And people like UNESCO UK, they invited me in 2015 in Glenavon in Wales to give presentation on heritage and youth, because we at the time recently had an earthquake. So I go travel to different places, I meet with youth, and we are really event-based organization rather than project-based. So now we have been offered a project of 7 years by Chong'an University here in Korea. And then I have to now talk with my friends, because I alone can't take the decision. I need to take the proposal to the board, and then board will finalize what to do. If so, then
What is that project for?
it's for research on youth and on the elderly people, on the sociology and psychology hope that will be our first project. I don't know. So, yes.
Are you also involved in tourism activity like walking the Machu Picchu or something like that? Because that's very popular globally. You get a lot of people.
Yeah, actually we have thought about it, but tourism is like we bring our country when we go in different places.
Right.
So I think, yeah, tourism can be one of the factors. that
It's
is-
one
but-
of my most memorable, wonderful treks over 3 months. It was long service leave. I went to Machu Picchu from Kathmandu, and it was an experience. It was relaxation and learning and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, still, now it's now very famous. Many people from different countries now. Many people now for trekkings, and especially we have Lumbini, the birthplace of Lord Buddha. We also hosted a conference with Daryl in 2014. So, yeah.
So, you mentioned how you have people like youth from around the world come to help out with the earthquake, and how you've also gone abroad to attend conferences and all. But then, has your club ever done anything for another country who that has gone through something equally or almost as bad as like the earthquake? Like it could be simple things like food shortage or having like rescue teams to help out from like an earthquake kind of thing. Is that something your club has also done? Like, because you also mentioned you have to
Represent my country.
yeah, and
Yeah, actually, we don't have that much fund that we all our team go to next country and help people. But once at a time, when we get an opportunity to go, like I went to UK to give a presentation for heritage and importance of heritage to youth. Then I was like able to convince them that a youth have to preserve their heritage so that they can have something about their country for the next generation. And then once when I went to Sri Lanka, I helped youth to know the importance of sports and how the sports can bring change to the society. And I think this sort of a small presentation helps all the people, I think, who want to take it can get benefit by what experience we had. And I think they can know the importance what we have suffered and how important heritage is for us.
also like something like you show them what you have done to encourage other youths to do that for their own country.
We need a lot more funds to do what you have said. Someday we can help.
Yeah, someday, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Rimesh.